and I'm very happy to be part of this program. Like you said, my journey to Liberia, it wasn't easy, to take a decision, leave this country, to go outside or to go a country where you didn't know anybody, you didn't know their system, and so on. But to be precise, it started when Gambia played with Liberia. Gambia under 20 played with Liberia under 20 in 2014. After that tournament, the clubs were following me for me to go there and start my coaching career, or continue with my coaching career. So that's where it started until 2016, where I decided, to retire from the civil servant and then concentrate on football.
Yeah, but what motivated you?
What is the motivating factor, that encouraged you, that pushed you? You were in the Gambia, beloved in the Gambia, you were with teams here in the Gambia, but there must be a factor that motivated you to push you, to try your luck outside the Gambia.
Actually, my number one target was to be a professional coach. That was my number one target when I started coaching. I didn't want to only stay in the Gambia to coach local teams. When I start coaching in the first division, I won all the trophies. I won Super Cup, League, FA Cup, and it went up to a stage just repeating. So to do more or to have more profiles, to go and play outside or to play for the national team, to take over the national team. And that time it was very hard, to take up the national team because I didn't have any experience, to take up the senior national team. I even went for, one time I applied for a national team job, which is under 20, under 17, and so on. But unfortunately, I was not selected. That's where Omar and other people were selected, for 17 and 20. So I decided to go outside to get more experience and then come over back to my country.
Right. And I believe that,
When you take up a decision, to go outside the Gambia, you also, sounded opinions, of the Gambia Football Federation, the Gambia Coaches Association. What was the advice, when you said, well, I want to, quit Gambia, I want to go to Liberia, try my luck there?
Yeah, it was not easy. It was tough because the reason why I said it was tough, at that time, I was a senior officer in Gambia. I was a manager at the company, and at the same time as a head coach for the football team. My earning was, the responsibility was too high. So most of the people who advised me, they didn't want me to go outside because of the opportunity I have. And the country I want to go, is not very famous in terms of peace and other things because there was a problem there. So there was no good record there. They have, these 14 years of war, civil war, and from the civil war they have Ebola crisis, and so on. So most of the people, my advisors, they didn't advise me. They don't want me to go. But then one of my role model, when I explained it to him, he said, well, it's a tax. If you want to go for it, it's good. It's left to you to work on it, because I know you. That guy is the very one who, introduced me to coaching. That is LS, Lamin Sambu. He said, you can go. That's life. And he coached me as a player, and he's the one who introduced me to coaching also. So he know me very well. He said, I know you can make it. So that's where I pick it up. I decided to go. And I retire voluntarily from the company, and then move on.
Yeah.
Retiring, voluntarily from the company and then, moving to Liberia. When you were in Liberia in the beginning, it must be challenging, for you. You've gone to Liberia, you met a lot of coaches there, for you to come to Liberia and then, make your mark, in Liberian football. It was very, very challenging, I guess.
Yeah. Obviously, it was challenging because the first problem I encountered was the qualification. Liberia, they are lucky. They have almost 18 A license holders in their league. 18. When Gambia, we have none. I think we have only one, who is Sandong. And I still believe Sandong is the only one.
So that didn't shake you?
Yeah, it was even in the media, because, coaches, media, fraternity, they were going against it, because they said, why the clubs go out and then bring a B license holder when they have an A license holder in the country. So it was a big debate. It was a big debate. They even write it. They write it everywhere.
So that did not unsettle you?
Yeah. That's another problem. The other issue is, I didn't know anything about Liberia. I didn't know the style of football they're doing. I didn't know the players. I didn't know the club. So it was so difficult for me. It was so difficult for me. But football is one language. That's what I believe. And then I have an opportunity to select the players. I didn't just come and join, for the competition. I came before the preseason. So I start the preseason, select the players I want, and then start the league. But it was seriously, difficult for me. I even when the competition started, I was suspended for 2 weeks.
Why were you suspended?
Yeah, because the team, according to them, it was a normal thing for the club presidents to come to the dressing room and address the players anyhow they want to do. So it was not, for me it was strange. Yeah, it was strange. If it is not strange, but it is not my style. As far as, you trust me, you give me the responsibility, I believe if anything wrong, you should come to me instead of the players. So one day we played for our fourth game. We played 3 games. Our fourth game we drew. I was with the journalists, with the interview. Journalists, they were interviewing me. So the president went to the dressing room, to talk to the players. So when I finished the interview, I went back to the dressing room. I found him inside. He was, the way he was dressed, the way he's addressing the players was not normal. So I called him. I told him, Mr. President, it's okay. I'll take care of it. It's all right, it's all right. He said, no, I have to talk to my players. This is my team. I have all right to talk to my players. I told him, I'm sorry. This is not the place for you. This is for coaches. It's for technicians. If you want to talk to your players, find another, platform. Call us, and then you address. Moreover, we sign a contract. I'm the guy who is responsible for the performance of the team. If the team is not performing, it's my responsibility. You should call me. It was a big debate in the dressing room. I just took my bag and I walked out. So he told the secretary to suspend me. Yeah, was suspended for 2 weeks. So I sit home until the 2 weeks finish. I resumed training. But it wasn't easy. But as a human being, you have to be reliable. You have to know what you are doing, and then you need to have principles, especially in the profession you are.
Yeah, dealing with players, you being a B Lansing there.
Yeah.
How was the mood at the dressing room like? Your relationship, with the players.
Oh, it was fine. Liberia, I don't have a problem on that because the first day I meet with the players, I discuss with them, I ask them exactly what is affecting them. And the major point they explained was they normally have pressure when they are playing. And that pressure comes from up.
Okay, from the president.
From the president.
Yeah.
So I told them now, I am going to stop that. It's not going to happen. During the game, you will not have pressure. You will be free and play your games. If anything happens, I will be responsible. So that I did that one with we have meeting with the players and explain to them on those things. So players, I have a cordial relationship with the players.
Okay.
Even when I leave the team and move to the national side, it was the same. I have cordial relationship with them. They are the one giving me the information and other things.
Okay.
But for players, no, it was excellent. It was excellent.
Yeah. You've performed. You've achieved a lot, with those players. All right. What was the motivating factor? And then, why were you called on the standard news in the Gambia, Tapha Manneh the Conqueror?
Yeah. Anyway, maybe they know the the reason behind it, but we did well because we played the whole season without defeat. Yeah. With my B license and then against A license holders. Forgetting that they forget that license doesn't play football. Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't play football. It doesn't guarantee you to be the champion. But we did very well. When I started the preseason, it was tough. I found 26 players in the team.
Yeah.
And during the preseason, I dropped 13 players and then remained 13 players in the team. It was not even easy with the management, but you have no choice because some of the players, key players, did not even report to training until a day or 2 days before we closed the preseason training. So I dropped many of them. Luckily for me, the team have a feeder team. They have a feeder team which is in the second division.
Okay.
So I used some of the players, promoted 7 players from the feeder team, to the senior team. And that helps. The other players, I select them from second division, third division, to form a team, and then we compete in the national league. But it was tough. But everybody was surprised, and they were happy because the club was not doing well before. Mm-hmm. And that season it was great. And from that season up till now, the club is highly respected in Liberian League.
Right. And then you went 22 games unbeaten.
Yeah, we won 22 games unbeaten and then win the FA Cup.
How did you achieve that? 22 games unbeaten.
Well, it depends on the players, and the players were, they were focused and concentrate on our tactics.
Okay.
During the training, during the game, and so on. They are the one who did well because football players are the key. If you are able to hold on those players, if you are able to manage the players, you can achieve what you want in football.
What is your best tactic?
It varies. I normally play 4-3-3. I used to play 4-4-2.
Okay.
These are the 2 tactics, I normally use in the field.
Do you normally sit back and allow your opponents to play? Or
it depends, the team I am
okay.
against.
Okay.
Yes, it depends. If the team is too powerful, if the team is not good in defending, in terms of transition in defense, we can sit down and wait for you.
Okay.
Because we know when you lose the ball, it will be difficult for you to recover.
Okay.
It depends on the type of team we are going to play. Yeah.
Okay. How was it like when you when you're called up, all right, to go to the national side? Leaving the players, leaving the club, and the success that you achieved there. How was it like?
Yeah, it wasn't easy because I was just like a Liberian. I have a nice time in the club. Everybody see me as a citizen of Liberia. I was really free in Liberia. I was really free, to be frank. I don't have too much issue in Liberia and as a foreigner. In the club, I was free. I was given everything, even though I am not used to these programs. I didn't go to the nightclubs. I didn't drink. I don't smoke. So I was not involved in some of the bad activities. So I was highly respected in the club. Luckily, the club president, when he resigned from the club, he became the FA president.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the Liberia Football Association president right now.
Okay.
So I didn't have a problem. I did not have a problem. When I want to return back to Gambia, that was 2019. He told me that no, you can't go to the Gambia. If you want, you need to apply for the national team job.
Okay.
And I'm sure if you apply it, it will not be a problem. So when I apply for national team job, it was not a problem. Almost everybody agree on it. They are saying one guy who was outside, I think he's from Turkey. That's the guy they want to. That was my competitor.
Okay, your competitor. Okay.
Yes, but the amount of money he demands, the country cannot afford it.
Okay.
So decided to go for me.
All right. Was it challenging? Coaching the foreign national team.
Yeah, it is challenging.
Because they were expecting results.
Yeah, they are expecting results, and also they are not putting much finance. They have a lot of financial issues.
Okay.
The support wasn't too good because they were trying to build two teams, that is under 17 and under 20.
Okay.
And their priority was under 17.
Okay.
They were spending a lot of money on under 17 because Liberia, they have a break along the way. They have a 14-year civil war. During that 14-year civil war, there was no proper football in Liberia. So there was no build-up. When George Weah group, George Weah 11 was existing, they don't have an opportunity to build the second team or the feeder team for the senior national team. So when George Weah and others fade out, it became a problem. There's a very big vacuum along the way.
Okay.
So they were trying to build junior teams to come up, and the priority was under 17.
Okay.
Because they didn't say it's under 17, but we know.
But the way they were spending money.
Yeah,
exactly.
Obviously, that because that team, they even having international matches outside Liberia.
And your team wasn't having that?
No. They have a camp. They used to go for camp 1 week, 2 weeks, and then go back to school and other things.
But did you at one time confront them about that? That they should be spending money on your team, you have to prepare this and that?
Yeah, we do right, and then, but I mean, the only thing they will tell you that we don't have fun, and then as a coach you can't go beyond that.
Yeah.
We all know the African football, or especially West Africa. Government is not doing too much in the youth football.
Yeah.
Maybe they only concentrate on the senior
national team.
So the youth teams normally take care by the association. And the association, the only area they normally get fund is from the CAF and FIFA subventions. people are not watching like Europe, where you can get so many things from the gate and so. They only solely wholly rely on the subventions. So it's difficult to take care of junior teams, female teams, and also sometimes government with even senior national teams. Sometimes government don't have money. The FA has to put their money, and then later on they refund it, or sometimes it is not even refunded. Because you can't take government to any level. Yeah. So it is a common thing in West Africa, in terms of funding of the national team.
What team are you currently coaching?
My contract finished July, so I'm not coaching any other teams. Teams were following me, but I came back, to have a rest and then, think about what to do next.
Are you thinking of, saying Gambia, I'm back?
Yeah, if I have a good opportunity, that's why I came to see what is happening.
Are you targeting the national team, coach?
Not national team, actually, because the national team is doing well. So I'm not expecting anybody to touch at the national side. But there are clubs, and there are junior teams and other things.
Under 17, under 20.
I want to look at the situation. What is happening on the
country. Coach, but with the experience that we already got at club level, in Liberia already. Right now, and people would be advising you go for the national team, because I've had on several occasions where Gambians will say, okay, I think now we prefer Gambian coach to come on board, this and that,
Yeah, for me, I don't think
it's good that the team is performing.
The team is performing well. What is important? What is important now? The backup for the team. What happened to Liberia shouldn't happen to Gambia. When the senior national team is doing well, we forget about under 20, under 17, under 15, under 23, and so on. If you want to support the national team, if you want to stabilize, all these categories need to be ready, so that those at the top, when they retire or they fade out, you can easily replace them.
Okay.
If country is based on that, it will be good. But for the national team, I think they are doing well. They are doing well.
All right. You've been in Liberia. You've been in Gambia. Compared to the football of both nations, which one is up?
Yeah, Liberia and Gambia, they had different scenario. Gambia is doing well in the national team. Liberia is not doing well in the national team. Liberia is doing well in terms of structures.
Okay.
They build stadiums,
okay,
for tomorrow. So Gambia is not doing that. And that means we are not.
So meaning Liberia is planning for tomorrow, while Gambia, we are not planning for tomorrow.
This is one of the problems. Okay. Because those at the top, they will fade out one day. And the one we have in the country here, as local players, they need to have a place to practice football.
Yeah.
And it has to be a standard.
Okay.
Liberia is doing that. They have many stadiums where it is built by the football association.
Okay.
For their leagues. And I visited 2 or 3 grounds in the country. When I came back, they are still the same. They are still the same. I think Gambia has to work on that.
Okay.
Gambia has to work on that. So they have different areas. In the senior national team, they are doing well, very well. One has to acknowledge that. For Liberia, senior national team is difficult, but they are building a team and they have a structures. You can count almost 5 stadiums, which are many stadiums. You can play there comfortably without any problem.
No, that's good. What was your reaction when Gambia qualified, for the second time, to the AFCON?
Yeah, I was really happy. I was really happy. I was really happy because, there's nothing like home.
Yeah.
Even Liberia, they call me Gambian.
Okay.
When Gambia under 20 was playing against Liberia under 20, even my number, I expect that it was tapped. People, they don't trust. They don't trust me.
Okay. They thought that you were going to give information. Yeah.
To the Gambia. So, it wasn't easy. Whatever we are doing, if the national team progress, if the national team qualify, coaches, citizens of that country, they all have a rank. Because when you go outside, people normally, what they normally ask, your country, the performance of your country.
Yeah.
When I went to Liberia, that's the first thing. Yes. I am a big license from the Gambia. What are the level of my country? What are the rank of my country? To be at that place when the coaches at that area have an A license. So there are a lot of questions. But if Gambia was doing well at that time,
Yeah.
there will be no question.
Okay.
Now they are proud, when they had the Gambian results, the national team results, everybody was surprised. But Gambia is doing well. What are they doing? What are they doing? I was part of the scouts for the national team players, under 15, under 17. We just finished, before I came in July, we finished a selection for under 15. I was called to help them on that selection. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But to be precise, I am really happy, and I'm proud to be a Gambian and to see Gambia football at the top level.
But you were very happy that we qualified, and then the draw happens. Gambia, Senegal, Guinea, Cameroon.
Interesting.
Yes.
It is a tough draw.
Yeah.
It is a tough draw. Tough draw. It's difficult for Gambia, in that group, because we have two teams who are very, very strong. That is Senegal and Cameroon. For Guinea, I didn't worry much about Guinea. But Senegal and Cameroon, these are tough teams. But this is footballer. Anything can happen.
One would say
it happened
if Senegal can do it against France.
That's right. That's what I want
Yeah.
to say. If Senegal can beat France,
Yeah.
and later on France win the World Cup, we have what happened in Argentina. Argentina, they lose their first game, and at the end of the day, they became the champion. So football sometimes, ranking, fake us.
Okay.
Ranking fake us, because what happened, they rank you based on your past performance,
Okay.
not present performance or tomorrow performance. Right now, Senegal ranking is higher than us.
Yeah.
Cameroon ranking is higher than us. Guinea ranking is higher than
Guinea
us.
is coming for a revenge, you know that.
But Guinea, we never have a problem with Guinea.
No.
Guinea is not ahead of us, and even the players, because the kind of players we have, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yeah, they're scoring week in, week out.
There was a time we cannot even have more than 6 professionals in our team.
Yeah.
Now we have 100% professionals in our team, so we can play with any team. What is important is how are we going to approach it.
Okay.
That's the most important thing, and that has to start from here up to the competition. The teams need to have, practice matches, during the how they call it, FIFA, friendly match, international friendly match. The team need to have friendly games at 1 or 2. It will help the coach, to know what and what, who he will be selecting and what kind of formation he's going to use.
Okay. But are you optimistic that we can make it, to the next round?
Yeah, of course, of course we can make it. We have a good team. We have a good team. We have a good team. If we manage it well, yes, we can go. It all depends on the preparation.
Okay.
Football preparation is key. If your preparation is not proper, forget it. You are just wasting your money.
Okay. Now, let me just, before Yero comes in, let me just, draw you back, to Liberia again. Looking at, football deals with sponsorships, all right? And at club levels, comparing Liberia and Gambia, all right? Do we see more sponsors, associated with football clubs in Liberia than in the Gambia?
Yeah, I think Liberia.
Or the scenario in Gambia is the same scenario in Liberia.
No, Liberia
sponsors will not come in, fans will not come in, this and that.
Liberia is ahead of Gambia in terms of sponsorship.
Okay.
Because Liberia, the National League is sponsored by the GSM operator, which is Orange, and FA Cup also is sponsored by them. Teams also, they have their sponsorship apart. They join, like a team I was coaching, Liska. Liska is sponsored by an institute, who is responsible for the ports and other things. So we have different companies who are sponsoring the clubs. Beer Mountain is sponsored by in diamond, I don't know, mining company, and so on. So the association, the spending is different from what Gambia Football Federation is doing. The league normally sponsored by the federation, and now I saw a name there. I don't know whether they are the sponsors. Balu, something like that. But for sponsorship, Liberia is far ahead of us.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kamara. That was a marathon one indeed. And welcome once again, Coach. I call you my mentor, of course. I'll just throw you back to the Gambia. Of course, the break between when you left the Gambia to Liberia, emotionally, I want to see or want to understand or know exactly the emotions that came up, because knowing that I'm leaving a country that I know very well, I understood their football. And this football, as you made mention, the country I don't know nothing about. What were the emotions? How was it?
Yeah, actually, I was really happy because the first point is I didn't know Liberia, but I know George Weah. So I know where George Weah came from. There must be football. That's the number one point that encouraged me, that motivated me to go to Liberia. George Weah is a great player in Africa. George Weah is a great player in the world. He was one time world best player, African best player. So those kind of things motivate me, to go outside, to see what is happening, away from my country.
Okay. I'll also take you to, of course, in your first days, as you rightly said, you were suspended. How did you manage to come back in terms, of course, with the manager of the team? And was your fight to avoid him from, from addressing players, was it successful?
Yeah, of course. If it was successful, because from that day until I left the team, he never stepped in the dressing room. What he normally do is say, "Coach, if you win this match, I will give you this." So when we win, he will come down to the dressing room and give that money, and then left. After the incident, it wasn't too difficult because most of these people are graduates. They know exactly what they are doing. He know that what he is doing is not correct. But maybe the way I approach him, So he was trying to emphasize the power he has in the club, because when I was suspended for 2 weeks, I stayed home for 2 weeks, 14 days, but at the end of the month, when they were paying me, there was no deduction. There was no deduction. They did not deduct me. They paid me right, because I was also waiting for that, whether they are going to deduct me or so that I can take it up. The reason why they are going to deduct me.
Okay.
But it was fine after the program. We reconciled. Everything. I was free. And the players were free. Players were happy, because they really have pressure. They really have pressure. They used to come and tell me, "Coach, you don't know what you have done here." And what happens the following year, FA put it on their rules and regulations that no Secretary General or President should go to the dressing room. It was put on their regulation.
So one can comfortably say that it was like an inspiration that they got from you.
I was in, even I was suspended. When the journalists asked me, I told them directly, I am suspended, and I believe what was, what the president did was not correct. I was trying to, address it. So most of the journalists pick it up from there, especially those who are anti the president. So they start writing, this and this and this. At the end of the day, it was good. My journey was good later on. Yes.
Okay, Coach, I will take you, of course, to the Lansing issue, because you've made mention that you were a B Lansing holder then. And of course, in the Gambia, we have only one A Lansing. And in Liberia, we're talking about, a double-figured number. What is the cause? Why is it that the Gambia cannot have those number of, coaches with Lansings? And still, we play in the league here.
Yeah, I think the administrators have problem on that. It's not something we have to hide on it. I don't think they are not doing well on that side. Even now, I have B license in 2015. B license in 2015 here. From 2015 up to date, there is no upgrade. Even refresher is a problem. The refresher, I just have it in Liberia. And every 3 years, as a license, you have to go for refresher, otherwise your license is not valid. Every 3 years, you need to go for refresher. If you don't do it, the license you have is not valid.
Technically, we can say then some of the licenses that are being used here by the D license coming to C license holders who didn't got their refreshers are almost invalid.
Well, I didn't say it, but I didn't say that. But Gambia, we have to do well. We have to do well in terms of license, because to be frank with you, it disturbed me. It disturbed me. If I have a license, I would have been in different place different from Liberia, because most of the offers I have, the requirement is a license. So it really affect me. It really affect me. Even though Liberia is going for a license in January, I paid everything, before I leave. When the time is up, I might go there, to do the license. I do all those transactions with the Football Federation. They did all the recommendations and so on. Okay. I did my payment and then wait for the time. Okay. But for license, we have to welcome. We have to welcome. Okay. It is a shame for the whole country, since the inception of the Gambia Football Association up to the federation, there is no opportunity for a license. It is really shameful.
Okay, I'll take you to, of course, monetary-wise, where Gambia and Liberia, you've got vast experience. Coaches been paid in Gambia on the month they paid, and in Liberia, if you were to bring comparison here, not trying to dig exactly what is it, but like motivating coaches.
Yeah, you know, Liberia is a funny country. I'm sorry to say, it's a funny country, but Liberia, they use foreign currency more than the local currency, so it's difficult to compare the coach's salary and the Gambia because they are paid in US, and which is cannot be compared with our local currency here. Like footballers. Footballers are paid, 200, 300 US. When you converted that to Gambian dollars, you can't pay a coach for that. Gambia here, local coaches in the national league, you can't pay more than 40,000. That one, if that happen, I won't go outside.
Very well, it means, Mr. Camara, you've seen that, yeah, a lot of money is being, of course, invested in football in Liberia.
And I know
Fellow coaches will say, oh, wow,
You
also have to go to Liberia. Exactly. What is your advice, to coaches, in this country, coaches who have not, venture outside, to go and get experience, because in the media we used to, one time, champion for coaches, to go outside, get more experience. Since, most of our teams that qualify for the CAF Champions League, are not playing because most of the time we are not playing because of financial reasons. So at the end of it, it's very difficult for the coaches, to have that experience of playing, other nation teams.
It is important. It is important. Coaches need to go outside. Not even about the monitoring terms, about salaries and so on. It is important for us to go outside, have experience, know exactly what is happening outside of our country. It helps our football because it's just like in the Champions League, in the CAF Confederation or CAF Champions League. Most of the clubs that succeed in the competitions, they have different nationalities. If you want to succeed, you need to have a different. Even South Africa, they have a good league, but most of their teams, you have different nationalities. You go to Egypt, the same thing. You go to Guinea here, Horoya, you have different nationalities in the team. So it's the same. When you go outside, you see what is happening there. Different style, different behavior, and so on. And when you have an experience from you, if you add those experiences together, it helps you in coaching. So it is important for coaches also to go outside. You need to be brave. There's nothing like home. There's nothing like home. You need to be brave as a coach. There are a lot of things. When you go there, the way the players have challenge in the international scene, the same thing you will have there, because almost everybody will go against you as a foreign coach. So it is important for coaches to come outside.
Yeah, of course, I just want to put him through to the, loan move, sort of an agreement you have with the Diamond Girls, of course, of Liberia. Being in the female football for quite some time, perhaps will hinder you because of the busy schedule in watching female football. Eventually, you're contracted to, work with the female team. That transition, just give us a brief. How was it getting from, of course, coaching men? You've been almost all your career. And for the first time, you eventually just jump into the other level.
Yeah, what happened, the coach for determined girls is not qualified for us to be as a head coach in the CAF competitions. And that is one of the reasons why I was contacted. The club decided to contact me because I used to follow female football. That's one. Two, I was part of the coaches who helped the under-17. The under-17 that went for World Cup qualifiers, their female team. Two of us, the under-17 male coach and me, we were the two who guide the coach. We were the two who helped the coach. So I was involved in the female football. I used to go and train the team and so on. I used to help because when I was, appointed as under 20 coach, sometimes national team we don't have that much, job.
Okay.
We don't have training. Sometimes you'll sit down 3, 4, 5 months without training. So I used to go to the teams to help the teams. Those who are not doing well, I normally go there to help them. So I was involved in the female league. I was known, before I was approached.
Okay, quick one. The last one would be, how was it with your family? Because coaching, demanding, so stressed week in, week out. You play in the league. The family back home in the Gambia, or perhaps sometimes they join you. How did you manage these two things together?
Yeah, really, I don't have a problem in the family. Almost the whole my family support me in football. My kids, my wives, they all support me. My brothers, when I was going to Liberia, I have some little bit issue with my mother because he doesn't want me to go the way he had Liberian cases and so on. He didn't want me to go because he liked me so much. He didn't want me to go far. Even I'm going, but not a place where things are not normal there. So he was the one who was a little bit, strict. And but my mom, I have to sit down, tell her exactly what and so on. Later on, then I left. But my family really support me. They really support me. When I was coaching here, they used to go to the field. They used to follow me. When we lose, normally we don't eat in the house. Everybody will be stressed.
That is, of course, big countries now.
Yeah.
Bigger than the Gambia, Liberia. Where are they contacting you for contracts?
Me?
Do you have any bigger nation, in footballing nation, than the Gambia, Liberia contacting you for your service?
Yeah, there are countries who contacted me for the service. One time Uganda, contacted me, and some teams from Kenya, contacted me. But, the requirement when I send, my CV and other things, the performance is okay, but the license is, below the, requirement. So I did not have, except the clubs, but, even at the clubs, when you win, I can't stand on the line at the CAF Champions League because the requirement is A license.
Yeah.
So A is one of the problem I have. We need to do everything possible to get it.
Thank you very much.
So I would say thank you very much. We have to cut the curtain here, Coach. Thank you very much for coming to Monday Night Football.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really happy and be part of this program. You're doing well. From the radio to television. It's a great achievement.
Thank you very much. Okay. We thank Coach for coming to Monday Night Football. We will be taking a short break and we'll be back with more sports.